E fala amigos, como vocês estão? Sejam muito bem-vindos a mais um vídeo. Estamos aqui para continuar nossa saga de reagir aos vídeos de Outlaws. E nesse mês de julho a IGN está postando muitas coisas que a Ubisoft está liberando. E bora ver mais um vídeo. Esse vídeo vamos ver tudo sobre o Nix, que é o mascote da Conheça. Bora ver tudo que ele pode fazer, tudo que ele pode nos ajudar. E etc, etc, etc. Mas sejam muito bem-vindos todos vocês a mais um vídeo. Muito obrigado a vocês pela sua audiência. Peço a vocês que deixem o like, se inscrevam para não perder nenhum vídeo. Aqui no diário para vocês, então se inscrevam e ajudem a gente a bater nossa meta de 500 inscritos. Simbora, meu povo, bora ver tudo que esse jogo nos tem a oferecer. Então vamos lá.
Good boy.
It's a recipe for tears when Han Solo and Chewie are torn apart. C-3PO is lost without R2-D2 beeping and booping close behind him, and the Mandalorian is half the man he can be without Grogu floating by his side. Star Wars has a long lineage of companions, and in Outlaws, it's no different. Say hello to Nix, the centre of Kay's world and her partner in crime, literally.
He's Kay's family. The only creature, the only thing in the galaxy that she truly trusts.
Nix grew up with Kay on the streets of Canto Bight from a very young age. Little is known about how they met just yet, but ever since their younger years, they've been a dynamic duo willing to make their way in the world through whatever legal or illegal means present themselves. Belonging to a brand new Star Wars species, Massive Entertainment knew that Nix would be a crucial ingredient to telling Outlaws' story. Not only that, he would be a key cog in its stealth action gameplay systems.
The opportunity to create a new creature and add them to the Star Wars galaxy and also have them be a companion to Kay, it came really from both a narrative and I think a gameplay lens. We never really talked about Kay without talking about Nix. They're sort of one unit, and in the gameplay sense, Nix was almost like an extension of Kay.
We said we want him to be your long finger. If your right hand is your blaster, Nix is almost like your long rubbery left hand that can fetch things, distract, attack, disable alarms.
All right, Nix, go get him.
While you don't directly control Nix, he is a key tool in your arsenal. Think of him as Outlaw's alternative to Watch Dogs' suite of hacking tools, and you won't be far off the mark. With a quick tap of a button, you can send him down a corridor to distract a guard, who you can then sneak up on to perform a melee takedown.
Lights out.
Prefer a more explosive style? Have Nix quietly activate an enemy's grenade in their pocket and watch it detonate from a safe distance. From the limited amount I've played and seen, Nix has a fun and useful variety of actions available up his furry sleeves, and that range will only grow as you uncover more abilities. Crucially, they all feel appropriate for an innocent small creature to carry out. You won't see Nix manning a heavy laser turret, but you can ask him to surreptitiously sneak a look at an opponent's card hand in Sabak. Just don't get caught cheating.
Tying him in with gameplay was extremely important. We treated Nix very similar to the player because we feel they're part of the same thing.
But then on the narrative side, it was also an opportunity to have this creature that was a crack in Kay's armor, that was fiercely loyal to her and will do anything for Kay. And so in a lot of ways, they were always sort of this complete package. Seeing what the team was able to come up with, seeing the sort of iterations of Nix was amazing.
Those iterations were many. At one point during development, he resembled a monkey, with Abu from Aladdin being a particular touchstone. Later, he transformed into something more akin to a lizard, as the team sought to find a balance between a creature that was very physically capable, but one you could also see as a friendly companion. How exactly then do you find such a look? Luckily for Massive, the team had the help of Lucasfilm, and he transformed into something more akin to a lizard, as the team sought to find a balance between a creature that was very physically capable, but one you could also see as a friendly companion. How exactly then do you find such a look? Luckily for Massive, the team had the help of Lucasfilm and its wealth of Star Wars knowledge to help crack the code.
It really started from a story necessity perspective. As we were defining Kay and who she was, we knew she was growing up as a bit of a loner, a bit of an outcast, and you know, a burgeoning thief on her own. And when you think about that kind of archetype, there's great need for a companion so they're not solely on their own. And we started thinking through, okay, in the Star Wars vernacular, what types of companions have we seen before? We've seen Wookiees, we've seen droids, we've seen a mix of eclectic other types of characters or species. And we really then were like, okay, what's a real world parallel for that? And the pet came up.
The pet and owner dynamic was just the start though. The door was still open for a variety of different looks. And while Star Wars certainly has a selection of established dog-like species that Massive could have chosen from, the team decided to try for something original.
Nix is a Merkle. It's a new species that we created here at Massive. So he needed to have a very soft side, you know, that you could really think like, okay, this is her body. For that we looked at a lot of more softer creatures, but also our pets, for sure. They were a big inspiration for Nix. But on the other hand, he's from a jungle planet. He needs to survive. He's still a wild animal in a sense. And so he has very sharp teeth, for example. He has the scales that we looked for at a pangolin creature.
The team took many different animals from our natural world and borrowed bits and pieces to Frankenstein together their new species. This ranged from the very basics, such as the body shape and cheeky characteristics of raccoons, to the more exotic tentacle-like ear shape of an axolotl. These body parts were combined to form a recognisable silhouette for Nix. But just as important as his practicality was his ability to convey emotion and communicate with Kay without the power of speech.
When you look at some reference from dogs, let's say, or even cats, you can tell when they're sad, they can tell when they're happy. There's a lot in their ears, in their eyes, in expressions, in their movement, where you just know they can't talk, but they're happy. So we really leaned into that kind of body language and expression to really highlight what Nix was feeling and kind of mode he was in, you know, sneaking and combat. Posture-wise, you'll see him, his silhouette go smaller as he's sneaking slowly towards an NPC to take them down. And happy, he's a lot more animated. He's running around. You can hear him chirping, kind of happy. I think people are really going to recognize and feel what Nix is feeling in the moment.
We also wanted Nix to be able to show his emotions in a way that's easy to understand, that, you know, you really believe that this is a creature and he would do it this way. You know, when he's very scared, he will put his tentacles all down, or when he's scanning the environment, he will put them up.
Nix was ultimately brought to life for a mixture of cutting-edge animation and motion capture technology, but also blended with classic creature creation techniques such as hand puppetry. And then there's the sounds he makes, provided by the unique vocal talents of the legendary D. Bradley Baker, who's appeared as everything from Daffy Duck in Space Jam to Appa in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Creating a brand new Star Wars species is no small task, but for the team, it already feels worth it thanks to having seen just how much fans are already connecting with Nix.
People are actually drawing the character we created and he resonates with people. Yeah, that just makes me super proud, and I think the team did such an amazing job on him. So much love went into this character, and I think people feel that.
One question remains then. Being a stealthy outlaw companion willing to get into a scrap, that territory naturally comes with danger attached. So, can Nix get hurt? Or worse, even...
I don't want to see him hurt, no. But he's very capable, you know. He gets out of the way. He knows how to sneak away when there's danger, so he can definitely take care of himself.
Good. We just can't be having that kind of emotional turmoil between our smuggling escapades, can we? For more on Star Wars Outlaws, check
Mano,
out this
muito
deep
bacana,
dive into
véi.
the creation of its open
Muito
world,
bacana
or 10
mesmo.
minutes of exclusive gameplay. And for everything else, stick with IGN.
Tudo que eles estão mostrando tá muito da hora. No caso, aí mostrou muita coisa do Nix, como eles pensaram em fazer o personagem, tudo que ele pode fazer, mostrando um pouco, na verdade, do que ele pode fazer, né? Então, isso é muito da hora, completa a gameplay e uma coisa bem diferenciada, bem da hora mesmo. Mas rapaziada, foi esse vídeo, foi mais pra gente reagir a esse vídeo aí do Nix. Fico atento aos próximos vídeos, que vai ser reagindo ao mundo aberto de Star Wars Outlaws e também reagindo a uma das luas. Então, foi esse vídeo, espero ter gostado, deixe o like, se inscrevam, fiquem todos com Deus e até o próximo vídeo. Falou!